All right, so starting off video number two, I realized that I hadn't set anything for these new port groups that the ESXi hosts live on. Those hosts require essentially Mac learning inside the configuration of the port group. So I can do that by pasting. I start with, so this is these functions, get Mac learn and set Mac learn, are available through William Lamb's site, so you can go and grab them there. So you just set these functions, and then we will let's just check. I'll log into let's paste this in here. We're not working on site one, however, we're just going to do actually no, it's infra VCSA. So it's just those port groups we created at the beginning of the first video. Eventually it'll come back. Let's check our progress. We're still at 96% of the VCSA deploy. There we go. Okay, we're connected, and we can let's check our Mac really something to get that thing. What is going on? Paste. But it's VLAN. So let's check 30. 30 we know exists in this VCSA. It's taking so long. All right, so now we'll notice that 20 has no configuration. So we need this Mac learning turned on. So let's go paste in that command. And so with that completed, let's try our thing again. All right, so there we're getting a ping back from. So that's all because it's nested. If you have physical equipment that you're running this all on, you would not need that. All right, let's move on from there. Let's continue. All right, so this is continuation of the VCSA installation. All right, step 2. Always use NTP. It is fine to use the ESXi host, but I like to set my own. It's not my own, but it's just an internet-based tool NTP server. And that'll continue on. Our next steps will be, well, once VCSA is up, we'll configure that. We can then deploy an NSXT manager, configure our NSXT. All right, let's figure a new. All right, so that'll take a while again. And because we are installing NSX Manager on the the outside, essentially it's going to be deployed directly to the ESXi host or this infra virtual center. We can go ahead and start that deployment too. Say to infra. And this one we can deploy from OVA. And we're going to go with a 3211, the latest. Well, latest. I haven't quite broached the subject of installing NSX 4.0, which is out currently, but it was very recent, and we'll have to get to that. That we should also see 20.7. This manager we can do small. Two. We'll do around 20. Right, I do not need a grub password. The root password we do need. Audit password we do not need. That's optional. Yeah, those are all optional. All right, so that's deploying now too. Let's see where our VCSA is. We're at 63%. And our manager is deploying. Okay, so I'll pause it here and come back and make sure we're not missing anything. But we have to build out the inner workings of our clusters here for inside the site. Oh, and I also have to finish re-IPing the 2 leaf switches, which we connect through. These guys connect through for their networking as well. So I will finish that. I think I'll do the leaves offline because we did the spine together. I'll do those 2 offline and we'll come back. All right, so virtual center is all installed. Let's go ahead and log in there. Nice, we'll just get rid of one of these older, or the other sites, we don't really need them. All right, so site 2 VCSA, it looks like it's gonna load up. So, administrator. No, actually. We should keep, let's keep 3 up, so we keep our naming conventions. Here, it's gonna take a minute now. So, let's make sure we have all this, the right naming conventions. Site 3-DC, site 2-DC. Site 3-custom. I'm gonna pause it and do all the licensing. All right, so a little quick behind the scenes, I installed all the licenses. And added the hosts. And I can ignore that now. All right, managers now deployed, it looks like. We'll power it on. We need to also create our VDSs. So on site 3, we have 2 VDSs, one for storage and vMotion and one for just our normal VDS that we use for data path. No, it's not on. We'll add some hosts. We're using the first and second uplink. Just to show quickly the ESXi hosts that we created here. I have 5 uplinks. I use make it easy on myself. I have 1 uplink. I guess just to show you them in order. I use 1 for management just to make my life easy. You don't need to migrate anything, any of the VMK nicks. Emotion have 2 uplinks, and my data path has 2 uplinks. So we'll use uplink 1 and 2. We're not moving the VMK 0. Finish those. Choose here to the other VDS. In this case, we already used 1 and 2, so we're going to use 3 and 4. So we need work groups now. So we'll do the storage. Actually, I think I'm not using the storage currently, just the emotion. I need the trunk 1 and 2. I need V130. The rest of these at the end, signifying a segment, so those are created after the fact. So do the trunk A and B, and then VLAN 20. Okay. Trunking, just do all that's fine. Right. Trunk A gets uplink 1. Trunk B. What am I doing? Trunking that. And then we want uplink 2 here. Should just be there in 20. From that, we'll VLAN 30. Should have a policy at VLAN 30 ones, both uplinks for this guy. And then he's also been modified as well. So we need to connect. To 2. All right, and so playing around with this just as a FYI, at the moment I'm connected to both the infra and the site 2, and so that's why I made the names of these port groups different, just so that we call it VLAN -2. Oh, I think I didn't finish. VLAN 20. There we go. And then we can get. And so if you have this exact same name, obviously that could cause problems and you don't know which VC you're making the change on. So I've changed the names So I don't have to disconnect and reconnect to each one as I go. All right, so hopefully that's working. We need a vMotion here. This is VLAN 91. All right, and then with that vMotion, we should hopefully be able to configure a vMotion adapter. All right, and I do have DHCP enabled for this on the edge router itself. Just make sure that comes back. So underscore. Do have to set it here too. All right, so that didn't work because I didn't have the Mac Learning on, so we can reset that. If I go to A, VCSA for disable and re-enable the interface. Oh, right, that's not enabled. It's true. Go back. Should pop back up here. Or maybe there's something else going on. All right, anyway, life comes up and I have to do something else. So I'm gonna stop the recording here. I'll investigate this, why it's not working, and we'll come back in the next video. I guess, so just to summarize, we finished deploying the VCSA. We've created our VDSs and some of our port groups. We have deployed the NSX manager. We haven't yet logged into it, so we'll have that to do next video. So we'll get into the NSX manager, finish the VC configuration, get into NSX manager and configure NSX. And then at some point, probably in another video, we'll go ahead and onboard that NSX environment into Federation. Okay, so we'll stop there, follow through to the next video.